Hey guys, I'm Tamara Bennett from Adoornments, Decor, and I am a guest today in the Wilshire Collections decorating community. And I have chosen a sunflower cutout to teach you guys today. We sell these in our shop, so if you've never cut anything like this before, um, you can always just buy the wooden blank. So I love sunflowers, you guys. I have loved sunflowers since I was a young girl. We actually had sunflowers in my bedroom when I was growing up, and so I adore painting them. I'm going to be using all Deco Art Americana paints today, and the first color I'm going to use is called Marigold. So we're just going to paint this entire thing the marigold color to start with. And if you enjoy this today, I would appreciate it if you would consider joining the Painters Clubhouse membership. If you enjoy painting, or maybe you're like wishing you could learn to paint like this, I can definitely teach you inside the Painters Clubhouse. And we teach new door hangers every single month in that group. And so our Painters Clubhouse membership only opens 2 times a year. And right now it is open for the fall. And you guys can join between now and Saturday. And I've been painting live every night on my Facebook page, Southern Adoornments Decor, at 9:15 p.m. Central Time. So if you want to watch me paint again tonight, let me show you what we painted last night in there. Look at this cute little truck. Is this not adorable? We painted this last night on the Southern Adoornments Decor page. And we're going to be painting it again tonight, but we're going to do it a little differently tonight. We're going to paint it a little bit more difficult. So last night was for the beginners. We painted it super simple so that it wasn't complicated. It wasn't intimidating. We tried to do it as easy as possible. All of that black lettering and stuff was done with a Sharpie. And all we did was trace over the lines that were etched in the blank. Can you just buy the cutouts from you instead of cutting your own? Yes, absolutely. We sell the wooden cutouts at shopdoorhangers.com. And if you decide to become a Painters Clubhouse member, you actually get 20% off every order of blanks and templates you place in there. We have a special coupon code for you. So make sure you go and grab that if you join the Painters Clubhouse. Sunflowers are such the perfect thing to transition from summer to fall. And August is one of those odd months where you're like not sure what to decorate with. Some people decorate like back to school cute stuff, but I've never really done that because it always feels like a lot of trouble to decorate for back to school when it really you only leave it up for about a month, if that. And so I really only like to decorate for some of the more major holidays. That way I can enjoy them for a long time. And so sunflowers are the perfect thing to like put up right after 4th of July is over. This is actually turning out just a little darker than I want. So what I'm going to do is add a little bit of this primary yellow to my marigold paint to kind of brighten it up a little bit because I want my sunflower to be nice and sunny. So this is more of like a bright school bus yellow. So we're just going to mix those two together. And our second coat will be this color. So the marigold was kind of our base coat. And looky there, this will be our second coat. If you want to go buy one of these sunflower cutouts, we have a little search bar inside the shop. All you have to do is type in sunflower. It'll take you right to the sunflower blank. Now, if you see templates in there, a template, let me show you what they are because you get templates inside the Painters Clubhouse. We don't ship you blanks unless you purchase them separately. You get templates. And so these paper templates you download and print out, you trace on your wood, and then you can use them to create, dun da da, hold up, here it comes, things like this. So see, it came from paper template to beautiful painted wood door hanger. And so everything is perfectly proportionate. The lettering is just right because we used our paper template to trace everything on there using graphite paper. And so there's no need to have to freehand anything or to have to learn how to draw. All you have to do is trace it on there, and then you can enjoy the painting part of it because that's the most fun. And it's very therapeutic. Matter of fact, a friend of mine who has been talking to me for a long time now just told me the other day that she just painted her first piece, and it was a pumpkin. And she said, you know what? I've been having high blood pressure problems. She said, but after I finished painting, I thought, I feel pretty good, better than I've felt in a long time. And so she went in and took her blood pressure, and her blood pressure was actually lower after having spent some time painting. I thought that was so fascinating that it physically lowered her blood pressure to sit down and paint. And so if you are somebody who suffers from stuff like that, you might consider taking up painting as a hobby because it's very therapeutic. Nancy says, I've painted, but I want help with shading and highlighting and new techniques. So, yeah, whether you are a beginner, or we're going to let this dry for just a second while I answer questions. Whether you're a beginner or whether you've been painting for a while, everybody can find something in the Painters Clubhouse. So, for beginners, I would suggest that you start with our beginners course and you go through the very basics until you've got that figured out. And then you can move on to learning fun new techniques or painting a new door hanger every month. And then for people like Nancy, who maybe have some experience with painting and don't need to start at the beginning, you can jump right into the hand lettering technique section, or the we've got like a whole section of like 35 different videos, and we're adding to them every single month that have shading techniques, buffalo plaid, leopard print, tie-dye, paisleys. There are so many techniques I could sit here and name off. So Susan, she said, do we get a choice of the blanks in the clubhouse? So every month we teach 2 new designs, and you get to choose if you want to paint that or not. You don't have to. Some people just watch and try to learn some tips from what we're painting. Some people choose to order the wood blanks cut out and shipped to them with the 20% off discount code that you get. And some people, it's kind of like you choose your own path, right? Some people go ahead and print out the free templates that we provide in the clubhouse, and they cut their own wood, and they really love the start to finish DIY whole part of it. They love being able to use a power tool. It's very empowering. Susan said, I would like to paint, but I have absolutely no talent. Well, Susan, that is the perfect place to start. You don't have to have talent. I was not born with talent. I did not know how to paint. I was just born with the desire to be creative, right? And this is something that anyone can learn to do. Look, all we've done so far is paint yellow on here, and it actually looks kind of splotchy. But we're not going to worry about that. Because see, look, when you hold it up like this in this lighting, it looks a lot better. So let me show you. You can even speed the drying time. If you're tired of waiting on your paint to dry, you can use a hairdryer. I always keep one plugged in right next to my craft desk, and I turn it on low heat and just heat it up. I love this. Jen said, I just joined yesterday and I've been binging the beginners, and there was a lot that I had forgotten about the basics. Jen, isn't that so true with anything you want to learn to do? It's important to start back with the fundamentals, the absolute basics. Sometimes those little things are the things that you forget about once you start like seeing all the shiny things like learning to paint leopard print. And you forget to go back and forget to go back and revisit the basics. And sometimes if you do that, you'll be like, oh, maybe that's why I've been having troubles with my lettering. You know, maybe I was using the wrong brush all along because I forgot that, you know, in the basics, it was taught that you should use this brush or whatever. Stephanie says, can you join the clubhouse at any time? No, it is actually only open 2 times a year. And this week it is open until Saturday. And so this is actually the last time in 2020 that we will be opening publicly. And what was I going to say? The price will be going up in 2021. So if you want to get in now at the current price, which is $37 a month, you have to join now because we're going to be raising the price in 2021 because the membership will be turning 3 years old, and we will have over 150 videos in there at that point. And so the value just keeps going up and up. All right, let's go ahead and paint the center circle brown now that we're dry, and it doesn't look nearly as splotchy now that it's dry. I'm going to use this color called dark chocolate. So this is going to take a couple of coats because this brown has a little touch of dark, or it has a little bit of touch of red in it, and red doesn't show up as well. And you know what? The etched circle on this is rather small. I think I want to make it a little bit bigger. So we're actually going to paint outside the lines. You don't have to do this if you're not comfortable with it. You could actually, if you can't paint a perfect circle, you could actually get something and trace a larger circle if you wanted to do this. But I want to make this center of this sunflower nice and big, a little bit bigger than the original circle that was traced on here. So all of our wood blanks come with the option of etching or no etching. Oops, and I got my circle a little wobbly. It's all right. All of our blanks come with the etching or no etching option. So like you saw on this one, it has the circle etched in the surface, and that allows you to just paint inside the lines. And let me dry the middle. Great question. So Dawn asked, if you pay for the year when you sign up for Painters Clubhouse, when it's time to renew, will you still get the $37 price? So whatever price you pay when you sign up is the price you lock in for however long you decide to stay. Now, if you ever decide to leave, if you ever decide to leave and then come back later, you would have lost that pricing, but you are grandfathered in with that price when you sign up. And so no matter if the price doubles or goes up, or we're not going to double it, but you know what I mean. You'll never pay more if you stay in. Okay, so there we go. We got our quick second coat on our brown. We're going to make this look so fantastic in just a minute. Like we aren't even, your mind's going to be blown. Okay, let's dry this and then we're going to do something else. Okay. So we're going to add some details to our petals. So this is a little bit past the beginner stage, so you wouldn't have to do this part if you don't want to, but I wanted to show you what it looks like if you add just a little bit of detail to your petals. I'm not sure if this color is dark enough, so we're going to have to just wing it and see. So get a round tip brush, just like this. I'm going to dampen it just a little bit because it's got some stray bristles. And then we're going to dip in this color. This one's called True Ochre, so it's a little bit darker, you can see, than our original color. And we're just going to use that to add a little bit of definition to these petals. So we're going to do an outside and then an inside stroke. And we're not going to try to make these perfect or a certain, thickness. We're just going to be artistic with it and just let it go. I'm doing 3 strokes on each petal to kind of add some definition. Okay, now I'm going to take just a little bit of that brown, not much. I'm just dipping my brush in it. I'm going to swirl it in that True Ochre and create a darker shade. This is just a little bit darker. And we're going to go on the outside and inside of each petal. And this just adds even more texture. I'm actually doing 4 strokes on each petal, the very outside and then in between that middle and outer stroke. Very easy. You definitely don't have to make these perfect. It's supposed to be fun and fancy free. Nope, I already went through there. Okay, so see how we've added some texture to those leaves? Now we get to go through and brighten them up just a little bit. So instead of going darker this time, we're going to go a little bit lighter with some white. So I'm going to do a little bit of white into my yellow, the original background color yellow. I'm just going to mix it up, and this is going to create a really nice light creamy yellow. Now we're just going to take this and we're just going to, however we feel like, how much ever you feel like it needs. Like if you want a really bright petal, you can do more than just 3 strokes. I'm just going to do a little, and I'm not even trying to go in between. I'm just going on top. I'm layering. There we go. And now it brightened up those petals really nicely. You guys ready to make this sunflower super cute? So I'm going to actually just get out a Sharpie because that's what I used last night and it worked just fine. And I want to kind of demonstrate to you, where did my Sharpie go though? I want to demonstrate to you that you don't have to have super fancy stuff to get started with this. You can use a Sharpie. Now, if I didn't use my Sharpie, I would probably use this Posca paint pen because I love these too. The only downside to a Sharpie is they tend to dry out quickly. So if my Sharpie decides to start drying out, I may have to switch to a paint pen because I did use this last night when I did all of the details, all the outlines, and the lettering on this truck. So what we're going to do with our black Sharpie is we're going to make lines, and you can use a I thought I had a skinnier ruler, but I guess not. I guess I can use this side. We're going to use a ruler and just do some lines across the middle of the pumpkin. I've got my picture over here because it's been a long time since I painted this. We're just going to do some lines. And this may be kind of difficult to see because the brown is so dark for you guys. But I'll show you up close in a moment. We're going to create kind of a diamond type pattern across here, like a cross hatch kind of pattern. And your lines don't have to be perfectly straight. I'm not even sure why I'm using a ruler because I'm not the kind of person who worries about straight lines. I think I just thought it would be faster than trying to freehand straight lines. This kind of just makes a cute little pattern across the middle of your sunflower. Okay, so let me show you up close. We're going to do something else to it in just a minute. Cute, cute. And now, let's get out. I should have done this first before I did my lines, but I got distracted and didn't think about it. If you get these little sponge pouncers, you can get them at Walmart, or we also have them in my shop at shopdoorhangers.com. They're little craft sponges, and this is the littlest one. Let me get, that was still wet, an off-white color. Let's see, here we go. This is called Light Buttermilk. Do I use any other colors besides black and white? I don't on my, well, sometimes I use gold or silver, I suppose. Depends. It's really good if you want to do gold lettering, but I don't use the colored ones all that much. Okay, so we're going to get our little sponge pouncer, and we're just going to do random little dots all over this, and then I may have to go on top of them with the Sharpie because I like the look better of when they're kind of on top of the little white lines, but you could do it either way. And there's really no pattern to this. These little dots are going to be completely random, but if you want to, they're kind of 6 in a line there. I didn't mean to do that. But if you want to kind of create a pattern, you can see how that made a little triangle with those 3 dots? Take the last 2, do another dot, and make a triangle. Just keep making triangle patterns all over your door hanger, and this will create a more symmetrical polka dot. Where do you get your egg cratons? Diane, actually, all of my neighbors and my family members and friends save them for me. I don't ever have to buy any. Okay, I also keep sticky notes nearby all the time for this very reason. Because when you go to do a polka dot, half on and half off something, you can do a half of a dot if you've got a sticky note sitting there. It's kind of like a quick little piece of painter's tape. You don't have to rip painter's tape off. You can just use this. It's like a little hack. Looky there. Okay, so let's dry this, and then we're going to finish our Sharpie marks on top of that. What size is this flower? So, Lori, this flower is 12 inches. This is very small for a door hanger size. If I were going to use this, I would probably add it to a wreath, or actually this particular one is going to be a porch sign attachment. You know those large 6-foot porch signs that say welcome? This is going to be the O on the welcome sign. It's going to be for my sister-in-law. And so there are different uses for these. That's why I'm doing the 12-inch size. Door hangers are usually done in 20-inch or bigger, depending on how big you want them. I'm just going to do let's go ahead and just go over our Sharpie lines a second time. Actually, you know what? I'm going to go over them with a paint pen so that you guys can see that the paint pen is a little bit bolder. Hang on, we were using this side of the ruler. I like for the lines to go on top of the dots for some reason on this one. It's just my personal preference. So we're just doing a second. We're going over our same Sharpie lines. Just doing a second coat of them, essentially. Only these are just a little bit skinnier. This paint pen is the smallest one. And so the lines on this are just a wee bit thinner than the original. Whoops, that was still wet. You know what we're going to do? We're going to get out. Oh, tell me my baby wipes are in here. Yeah, there they are. Sometimes the kids come snacking. Get out a baby wipe. And if you accidentally get your hand in the paint or mess something up, you can take a baby wipe and real carefully dab to clean up your mess. I'm trying not to rub the Sharpie because I don't know if it will make the Sharpie. No, it's not making the Sharpie bleed. I was afraid that it would because of the alcohol in the baby wipe. So there we go. I fixed my little spot. How do you attach it to the porch sign? You put Velcro on the back. I use industrial strength Velcro, and I just attach it to the porch sign, and that makes it to where you can change out the attachment for the different seasons. Lots of fun way to decorate. And you can make your porch sign attachment match your door hanger on your door, and that's even more fun. I think this paint pen is showing up a little bolder than the Sharpie for some reason. My lines still aren't very straight, even though I used the ruler. Oh well. It just is what it is. We're not perfectionists. So let me show you up close what this kind of looks like. Isn't that cute? So now we get to go back with our paint pen. We're almost done. Or you can use your Sharpie. And we're just going to do a cute little twirly, like swirly design around the outside. This is where you get to be fun and doodle. So go around, do a little loop, around and a little loop, and just keep going around. Let me show you what it looks like up close. See, we're just going around and we're creating a little loopy loop. And it's kind of going along the border edge of the sunflower. This is kind of hard to do with it, balancing it up in the air, but the things I do for y'all. So many of the ladies in the Clubhouse have gone on to sell these and start their own businesses. And I've been so impressed with them. So everything that we teach you guys, we give you permission to go and like sell them and make more, teach them at paint parties. And then once you get to the point where you're like, I'm ready to start a business, we can help you with that too. We actually have an upgrade option where you can join something called Paint to Profit, and we can teach you the business side of it. So look how cute this is with the little loopy loops around the outside. Somebody said, I watched the video with the rider bottle technique. When would you use this? You could actually use the rider bottle technique to do this right here instead of a paint pen. And it would be more dimensional because the rider bottle actually has like a 3D effect. And so then all of these little lines and these little swirlies, when they dry, you could rub your hand across them and that you could feel them. And so they would look almost 3D. That's when I would use the rider bottle technique. Karen is talking about a video that she saw inside. We're not done with this, by the way. Karen saw a video inside the Painters Clubhouse showing how to use rider bottles. So if you don't know what those are, do you remember the tulip paints that you probably used back in the 90s? At least I did when I was a kid. I helped my mom paint sweatshirts, and we used the little tulip paints. You squeeze the bottle, and they come out of the tip where you write with them. That's what she's talking about. I love this color, you guys. I don't use it very often, but it's called Scarlet. It's a mix between an orange and a red. It's more red than orange, but it's definitely in between. And you're probably wondering, why in the world would we be using this on a sunflower? But just wait. We're going to make it pop. Okay, so I'm going to get a brush. What color size do I want to use? We're going to use a filbert tip brush. I sell these in my shop. See, it's the tip of it. Whoops, where am I going? The tip of it is slightly rounded. And so I chose this size because that's the size that I want for the outside of my sunflower. And we're going to use this as a border. And this is the red. So it seems kind of weird to do this, but this is really going to make everything pop, and it gives it that wow factor. So we're just redipping after every petal. And we're not trying to connect them perfectly or make it, any such a way. If you want to connect it, if you're a bit of a perfectionist, you can. But see, once you add this, all those little strokes that you made inside the petal, if you were agonizing that you didn't get them just right or it wasn't perfect, it doesn't matter anymore. Because once you do this part, you're distracted from all of those little things. And none of it really has to be perfect. Look how cute. So it just added a little pop of something else. Let me dry it. Okay, Sherry said, I tried to make one smaller today for a wreath, but I can't figure out how to do that. Sherry, are you trying to take the printable template and downsize it? After you join the Painters Clubhouse, we do have a video in there showing you how to downsize your templates. It's done with a program with a website called blockposters.com. Karen says, I'm running in late. What kind of paint pens do you recommend? These are in my Amazon affiliate shop. They are the Posca, Posca Uniposca pens. They come in a set of 6. You get 3 white and 3 black, and they're all 3 different sizes. Have you noticed that there's a shortage of paint? Absolutely. So I would go directly to decoart.com. They're only producing their most highly popular colors right now, but you can go ahead and buy paint from them and get it shipped directly to you. All right, so taking our paint pen once more, we're just going to add some fun little whimsical lines around the outer edge on top of the red. And this just draws your eye to the whole design because it adds just a little bit of fun whimsicalness to it. So this is not your typical sunflower. This is like a sassy sunflower. Oh, my pen is getting wet paint on it. And it's trying to like clog up. So I'm taking and rubbing it on a piece of, there we go. What do you call those? Sticky notes. I don't know why I couldn't think of that word all of a sudden. There we go. And we are completely finished. Let me show you up close. Donna says, I love that sassy sunflower. Super cute, right? So fun, too. I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you guys want to sign up, it's only open till Saturday night, August 29th. I'm going to be live every night on my page until then to talk to you guys about it. So if you have any more questions, feel free to pop in and join me tonight. There's also a frequently asked questions section at the bottom of the sign up page. So if you're like wondering, like, is there a commitment? Is there a contract that we have to sign? How long do we have to stay in before we can get out? First of all, no, there's no contracts, no commitments. You can cancel at any time. But second of all, why would you want to join a membership with that kind of attitude? I would much rather you join it being like, okay, I just signed up. Let's see how much I can get out of this month. I'm going to really dive in and put my all into this and get my money's worth, right? But I guarantee if you're like somebody that was watching earlier, once you sign into that membership site, you're going to be binge watching everything. And you're going to be like, oh, wow. Like I've already gotten more than my money's worth in the first few minutes. So I love it. Well, have a great evening. And I will see you guys again tonight here or on my Facebook page, Southern Adoornments Decor. Bye, y'all.